Who'd you talk to? What's going on? It is me, Mike Lepre, King Mike L. This is Legit Paranormal, brought to you by legitpodcast.com. It is Sunday night, 7:07. That's a good number. It is September 25th, 2022. That's 0925 2022. For the math geeks, I tried earlier on the football show, and there's nothing I can do with that date. Sunday night, guys. Joining me, as always, Buddy Money there with his 3-0 Dolphins jersey. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, Mike. Honestly, I wasn't sure if my Dolphins were going to come through today, and they did, and I'm super excited about that. Like I am my beer that I have from New York City. Unlike your Giants, they were made in Brooklyn. It's the other half. It's Space Diamonds. It's an 8.5 alcohol by volume, Mike. It just gave me, having a guest from New York just gave me an excuse to go to Connecticut, drive like 100 miles into Connecticut just to find this beer, because you can't get it in Rhode Island, really. You can only get it in Connecticut, New York, Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., and that area. And it's really delicious. Right on the map of all good craft beers. It's a double dry hopped. It tastes like diamonds, Mike. It's absolutely delicious. Like our guest.
Tastes like diamonds? Tastes like diamonds.
Liquid diamonds, Mike. It tastes. Hold on.
That's not even possible.
It tastes like victory, Mike. It tastes like 3-0.
Hey, wait, which planet is it that they said that they've discovered that it's could be made up of diamonds? Did you see that?
I didn't see that, Mike.
Yeah, I've been watching like all kinds of like weird videos lately, like delving into like what all the new telescopes have been finding. You know what I mean?
Right. That'd be money, though, I would imagine.
Oh, scary shit they're finding. Like really a lot of unexplained things that they just kind of like not making mainstream news. So that's where I've been going the last couple of days. I've been on those YouTube wormholes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
You know, you want to see how like what could win between a falcon and like a bear. You ever get on those?
Right.
Yeah, well, those kinds of
things. Fun.
Hey, joining us wearing his hoodie is Joey Paradid Show. What's going on, Joe?
Not much, man. Just licking the wounds after another tough week. But it's always funny to watch special teams tomfoolery with the Dolphins trying to play hide the football in the back of their end zone. So,
wait a minute. You know what that sounds like? Can you hear it? You hear that jealousy? I heard jealousy.
I think I can hear that. I think I can hear like a 1 and 2 sadness.
I don't know. I wouldn't say sadness. I mean, let me just adjust my camera here. I forgot.
There's a dark cloud coming over the New England Patriots and their fan base, and it's going to hover there for a few years. And I can't wait to see how they handle being bad.
Oh, we're going to lose like 90% of our fan base, which is fine with me. Games will be way easier to go to.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. The James Webb Telescope. That is like, that's one of them. Sarah already knows that. There's another one too, though. I don't know the name of. So the shit that I saw is crazy. Now, buddy, our guest tonight so far is a no-show. Am I right?
He's the Joey Parano Show, if you will. Yeah.
Okay.
He's active on Facebook Messenger, and I sent him 4 messages reminding him of the show and the link to sign on, and imploring him to click on the link and come and join us because we're now live.
Is he terrified?
Terrified.
Well, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. If you, like, I don't mean of us. I mean, like, if you,
I don't know. Maybe he's a Pats fan, Mike. I don't know. He's from New York, though.
Hey, I'm still here.
Scare him? Did you scare him at all, though, buddy? Like,
I wasn't trying to scare him, man. I don't know.
All right. No intimidation, man. Come on now. All right. I want to go over something, actually, that's a little paranormal. Here we go. So, let me go over my birthday, guys, on Wednesday. And what happened on Wednesday, which is carried over to my weekend, which has been a rough weekend. Like, so my mom always said she was going to haunt the shit out of us, in her exact words. Literally exact words. So it's birthday morning, right? Wednesday morning. Now I had to move a bunch of stuff because I cleared out the bar. And who do I see but Kobe, my other half, my other dum-dum, got a card in his mouth. And I'm like, dude, give me that. Look at the card, and it was the card my mom gave me last year for my birthday. And I'm like, what the you know what I mean? Like, God damn it. So I read it, and it was just killed me, whatnot. All right, moving on. So now the day moves on, and things they get weirder. Like things keep happening, bringing her up, or things that are like really blatantly in my face. I'll mention them later, but I just want to cut to this part, which is how the day ended. So now I had so many things happen throughout the day that would just oddly like someone trying to get my attention. Like, seriously, I'll go over them later. But it ends with, so I'm having a conversation with the wife. It's like around 8 o'clock, right? That's when the conversation starts. And I'm just a mess because I'm like, she did this. This happened today. I'm like, this happened today. I'm like, that happened today. Like, I'm like, that's not, it's too many. Like, she's really trying to send me stuff. And for me, it's too many because it's like, it's not bringing me up. So anyways, done talking to the wife, right? Now, you know how when you get a text and it's only like the first couple of lines? Like in other words, of the message, you don't see the whole message. You'll see just like what the first 2 lines of the message are. Do you know what I'm trying to say? When it comes up in the box on the main screen? You follow me, guys?
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
The wife, you guys know where I sit at the bar. You know where the stairs are. At 8:22, the wife turns and walks the stairs. And I get a text message. And the text message reads, Felicia Lepre, we've been trying to reach you. I was like, what the what am I gonna what? I opened the text and it was like it was a message for her from like a collection or something. But my point was, like, literally the byline or whatever I saw was Felicia Lepre, we've been trying to contact you. Guys, after the day that I went through of finding that card and all the other shit that just happened to happen, to have it end like that, I'm like, is that all coincidence? Like, is it?
No.
Can it all be coincidence? I mean, I felt like my mom was going, pay attention. Like as the day went, right? And then like I feel like at the end she was like upside the head with like, you know what I mean? Been trying to get your attention. Totally freaked me out. Totally made me question doing this show. I feel like this show has brought out a side that, I'm worried about where it may go. Because I feel like because of this show, I've started to form my own opinions. I've started to believe in certain things. I've started to open myself up to certain things. I actually think differently than a lot of people, and I'm not afraid to say that anymore. I'm now making my own opinions. I feel like I've been studying everybody and listening to all these like great professors explain things to me, so I've in turn learned them. Reason I bring all this up is because moving forward, I have never gone on any kind of ghost investigation, paranormal investigation of any kind, right? I've sworn that that's not going to be me. I'm staying out of that, right? That's what I've said from day one of this show. We're almost 2 years in, correct? Buddy, am I correct?
You've been on one, Mike, sort of a quasi investigation, but yeah, that's.
And we're almost at 100.
accurate.
What show are we at? We're at 89 right now. 90?
I'd say 89 if I had to. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So we're getting close to 100 show. So all right, what I wanted to do moving forward is this. This is what I'm laying on the table. I want to start to go on investigations with Ocean State Paranormal. I want to put myself in the middle of things. I want to be there. I feel like maybe I should. It's weird because, let's be honest, and I was explaining this to the buddy off air. I was talking about how on this show I always just I always say I don't want to do it because I want to stay out of it.
Mhm.
And it helps because I'm a host. you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to get more involved in stuff because I am a host. I want to keep like a open view on stuff. Okay, I don't want my. It's like when I make fun of people that are cynics. No, not cynics. What do they call this? Cynics. Is it cynics? Skeptics. You know, they keep calling them skeptics and self-skeptics, and they got like 10 examples of when they met a ghost, and you're like, you can't really use that word anymore. Like, you got to find a different word other than skeptic, right? So I was on the USS Salem, and if we're being completely 100% honest, I'm hoping Buddy will attest to this. I wasn't nervous at all. Like, I really wasn't nervous. There wasn't a point where I was nervous. Buddy, was I nervous?
I don't think that you were nervous, Mike. No.
I actually felt fine. Like, it was weird. I just didn't want to, repeat, whatever. Now, though, I think coming upon the 100th show, there's going to be some changes to the show, and I think it's time to start joining the investigations. Buddy, your thoughts? You're dealing with him on Facebook, but your thoughts?
I'm whatever. No, that'd be good, Mike. It's always good to open yourself to new and interesting experiences and be able to like analyze why maybe that happened, or set yourself into a certain, I don't know, expectation and whatnot, and see what happens. Investigating the paranormal can be the most boring thing in the world, and it can be the most exciting thing in the world. And it depends on how you take it.
Well, buddy, here's the thing. This is what I've learned. So this is the thing I'm trying to say. Like, so what I've figured out is the best like ghost investigation, paranormal investigations. I like when you use the word investigation as opposed to hunting. I don't want to hunt anything, and I don't want to find. I'm not a big fan of finding proof to show the world. I don't give a shit nizzle about me finding proof for everybody else. What I'm learning is that it's more personal experience. It's more a way of getting in tune with what you believe and what's really real. And if nothing happens, nothing happens. Right, Joe?
Right.
Now, Joe, you've been on a ton, and nothing really happens most of the time, correct?
Yeah. Yep. Just like the last one that we were on, we were very excited for it. We had some small little personal experiences, some things that we saw, as you love to hear me say. We saw some things out of the corner of our eye, but as the night went on, it was just very, very quiet, very uneventful, and we ended up kind of just wrapping up, going, you know what, there's not much going on. So,
all right.
I've been told that investigation in particular wasn't maybe as quiet as we might have thought. I was implored last night that we need to meet because somebody might have a potential 41 EVPs from one recorder.
But buddy, the question wasn't, how much evidence did we catch? It's the night itself. I mean, plenty of times we have quiet nights, but we end up still getting evidence, and I think it's two sides to the coin. I mean, I was basically just going, at least for me, I didn't really feel anything going on that night, and nothing. I
didn't. Yeah, right. I didn't have a lot of my own experiences. I was. I put myself in some.
So you could catch all the evidence in the world after the fact, but it doesn't change that during the investigation, it's relatively quiet, and you really don't feel like anything's going on.
But true. I guess what I'm saying is, I like the idea of helping people. If they have an issue, I like the idea of that side of things. But I in no way want to like hunt, and I in no way want to like have evidence. Like, I don't care if people believe what I saw. I'm at a point now where, quite honestly, I just don't. What do I care? Why would I care? Like, I guess that's the biggest issue. It's like, everybody wants someone to care about what they found or saw or heard. And it's like, no one really cares. Like some people, like, I like hearing stories. I'm a person that I like hearing stories, the good ones, not bad ones. But like, no one, it's your own personal experience. It's like, kind of like when you pass away, I think everyone thinks that everyone's going to remember them like their life was like a movie, like remember everything they did. When in reality, it's like what? A bunch of Polaroids. That's what you remember of people. It's like a bunch of like snapshot memories, right? Like that's the most you kind of get out of it. Am I wrong, buddy?
No, I would imagine it's
Like when you think back about somebody, you have memories, but it's not like
Yeah.
you don't remember their whole life.
Right. No, you just remember bits and pieces. Yeah.
Yes,
That's
moments you were with them and things you had, especially.
Mhm.
There's always like certain times though, Joe. You ever have a moment where in the moment you go, "I'm gonna remember this moment for some reason."
Yeah, I think probably events with like historical significance or events that are very, very close and personal to you. I think that's happens to me not often, but definitely when I'm in a moment that I'm enjoying. I think to myself like, yeah, I'm gonna try to remember this as best I can, and
All
then
right,
you
so
still
that's
never
making it
do.
personal, but that's making a personal. I guess. Have you ever had the feeling though, as the moment's happening, like, I'm never gonna forget this. Like,
Oh,
just
yeah. Like the marathon bombings, like as that was happening and I was watching on a computer screen in the back of a Radio Shack, I was like, holy shit, like this is real. And like I'm gonna remember where I was as this unfolded for the rest of my life. And I mean, it's been, I think 10, 11 years, and I still remember it vividly.
buddy, have you ever had that phenomenon where
What's that,
you're
Mike? I'm
like,
sorry. I wasn't.
you're dealing with that guy? Don't worry about him. When you ever had the phenomenon where you see something happen and you say to yourself, "Oh, I'll never forget that." Like that's a moment that I won't forget. Like there it is. Like just something happens and this is the
Yeah,
feeling you get.
certain moments definitely impact me more than others by far. Yeah, absolutely. Just maybe it's a sensory that sticks out.
Like
Maybe it's just an
it's
important impact on my life. You know.
here's a memory I have. Right. It's just such an odd memory. Me and Dum Dum had to work Great Woods
Mhm.
for the Ozfest. So the Ozfest was in town.
Been there.
Kilgore was playing side stage.
Hmm.
So was Motorhead, which was so fantastic.
Yes, I was at that show, Mike. That was a good one.
Were you there at that show?
That was '98, I believe, right?
Do you remember us that we were working the gyro for a while,
I don't
spinning
know.
people?
See, my
So we
memories of
would.
that show are just of like Tool,
All
essentially.
right, so
Cigar
listen,
Boy, anything.
we were drunk all day. I mean, I was drunk and high all day. Okay, so it's coming to later afternoon. It's now you remember how Great Woods was with the big grass hill, how great
Yeah.
that was, right? And the pits would happen.
Hmm.
So me and him are gonna go up to the top of Great Woods. That's where everybody used to go and smoke weed. You remember how they go near the fence and smoke weed, like as if people didn't know, but the whole back of Great Woods would stink of
That's all
weed.
you can. Oh, right. Yeah.
I'm on my way there. I bump into Aaron, and he's like, "Oh, dude, like I didn't know you were here." Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm about to go smoke with Derek. Did you want to go?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's go." Now I'm talking about Aaron and Lewis, right?
Hmm.
So we walk up, and me, him, and Derek are smoking. We're standing there, and we're watching Limp Bizkit. He came out of a toilet. So I'm like, so dude, what's going on with you guys? He's like, we have the same lawyer as Ice Cube. I'm like, holy shit. Like he goes, I know, right? I go, no, seriously, holy shit. Like you got, and I remember saying this. I mean, you guys are gonna be huge. Now I'm saying this based on the fact that me and him are laughing because they now have the same lawyer as Ice Cube, Stained, when they get signed.
Right.
So that's a moment for some reason that's stuck in my head all the time. Like that, it's so vivid because, and I don't know why, it wasn't like a big moment for me. It was just like a moment where when I said that, you say something and it sounds so real. Like it's just like you say it and you're like, holy shit, I think what I'm saying is real. Because to just give you a little backstory on this band, we used to play with Stained, and so say we're playing at the Espresso Bar in Worcester, he would scream, right? A lot of those songs, Mud Shovel, stuff like that, classic Stained songs. But then when he would sing, you'd be like moving equipment or doing stuff. I swear to God, and you would go, and you'd be just like, you'd stop whatever you were doing and just listen to this motherfucker. And it was like, holy shit. I remember having a conversation with them behind where the equipment is. After a show, the only guy I didn't get along with was the drummer with the bleach blonde hair. I love Mike, the guitar player. I love the kid Smitty, the bass player. Aaron was always really, really friendly with me. Me and him were really close. And he was like, I remember saying to him, like, motherfucker, I did not know you could sing like that. Like, I did not know. Like, you know what I mean? Who knew you could sing like that? Because they let him sing like a ballad or something again. And he's like, yeah, he's laughing. And they're like, yeah, that's our secret weapon. And I'm like, damn straight it is. Like, holy shiznizzle. Like, he could sing. And then, buddy, what happens? They get seen by Limp Bizkit. Limp Bizkit gets mad at the cover of their demo because it has a religious symbol in it. Fred Durst flips out, ends up listening to it, changes his mind, and signs them as the beginning of his post-grunge movement of signing them, Puddle of Mud, like bands that kind of had the grunge sound just taken a little further into like the late and mid 2000s. Joey, are you following me at all on this?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Stain, so I always love hearing about their roots and where they came from. Them being more New England based when they came up.
So then let me give you another story while we're doing stories, right? Why not? This guy's still not. He's ducking, buddy.
I have an update on the guy whenever you want an update.
All right, what's the update?
Okay, so he finally did get back to me, and he said that. Okay, I completely sidetracked. I'm sorry, I got completely sidetracked. I'm sorry. I have 2 employees out with COVID, and I'm the only person able to work. It was unprofessional of me, and I'm really sorry. Sorry. Last minute things. COVID needs to go. I said, amen. He said, I will make it up. I promise. I said, I'll reach out with you for some dates later in the year. And he's like, please, I'm sorry. This wasn't planned, and I got so busy here, I totally got blindsided. Shit happens, Ted. It would have been nice to know, though, not like while we were in the middle of the show.
That's
Possibly gotten a replacement, that's all.
That's fine. That's fine. I get stories. You guys know Kid Rock. Shed is opening up for Kid Rock. We do a song with Shed. Now, on both sides of the stage, Kid Rock has these big glass like podium things so that he could jump on it and his buddy can jump on it and they would light up. So this is that story where we're getting ready to go on to do our verse during Home, the final song that Shed does. They actually made like a rap breakdown that we did. We are getting in the gorilla position. Joe, you know what I mean by that. And the stage guy for Kid Rock says, hey, and he doesn't say it nicely at all to me and Dave. He goes, hey, stay off the boxes. Buddy, what are you holding in? Like, how obvious can you make that? What are you, smoke? The guy goes, stay off the boxes. We're like, all right. Yep. We turn. He goes again. Hey. Well, yeah. He goes, stay off the boxes. We're like, all right, dude. Like, we're nervous enough. Like, Lupus is sold out. Here we go. We're getting ready for the cue. Swear to God. Guys, stay off the boxes, right? I go, Dave, right as we're done with our verse, you stomp all over that box. I'm stomping all over this box. We jump off the stage, go through the green room, and we're out. Dave goes, done. We go up, we do our verse. As the verse is about to end, on that box, stomp, 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 stomp. Song ends. I can hear the whole time, you motherfuckers, I'll kill you. He was ready to kill us. Ran off the stage and ran out the side door. Happy as a clam. Because, Joey, tell me once. Okay. Tell me twice. I got it. Tell me 3 times. You're breaking my balls. Am I wrong?
No, that repetition would drive me nuts too. It's like, all right, I mean, if it's that important to you, I might as well see what all the fun's about.
It's just, you know what I mean? It's just like,
hey, so I want to throw out there, Sarah asked us a question. If we're doing anything special in October, might be a good time for you to plug something special that we're doing in October.
Oh, sure. Just hold on 1 second, though. In October, on the 27th, which is a Thursday, we will be having another live event down at the Parlor. We'll be doing ghost stories. Buddy's going to invite some guests to speak on ghost stories, but I also want to have like an open sign up. because I know people have ghost stories, and I know people have some real scary ones. So I would like to have people come, drink, be merry, and share their ghost stories on the 27th, which is a Thursday, in October. Buddy, your thoughts on that?
I'm kind of excited about it, Mike, because I don't know who we're going to get to show up for this one, but anybody from who's in the paranormal obviously has their own stories from before they were an investigator, while they're an investigator, when they're not even investigating, when they're just like on vacation with their family and shit just kind of happens and they just happen to witness it. So, I mean, there's all sorts of varieties of ghost stories that you could get from the Rhode Island Ghost Network, so to say.
Yeah, I mean, we will have. I've had some people reach out to want to speak. I'll pass them over to Buddy. We'll get them set up, and then we'll get the show up and running. It'll be fun to get together just to tell ghost stories in general. Like to me, that's actually a lot of fun. Like, isn't it? Isn't that kind of what it's about? Telling your stories, not just ghost stories, but you got a Bigfoot story. God damn, tell that. You know what I mean? Any cryptids, it's all on the table. I want to bring up one quick point. That's a side turn. The show that we did that started Legit Podcast, the very first podcast ever, was Legit Fantasy Football. It started everything. Okay, I only bring this up one reason. On our page today, we put 7 games that were locks, and we told everybody to just put $100 on every game, guaranteed you're going to make money. Okay, it was the 7 games that me, Matt, and Brother Ray all agreed upon. We are now 5-0 going into tonight's game. We had the Dolphins plus 4.5, the Titans plus 2, who also won outright, the Packers plus 1. Brady didn't convert the 2-point conversion, 14-12 Packers win. On top of that, we had the Falcons plus 1, who won outright. We had the Jaguars plus 3.5, who won outright. And now tonight we have the 49ers minus 1.5, and then tomorrow night the G-Men minus 1. Buddy, here's the thing. Even if these 2 games lose, you put $100 on 5 games and $100 on 2 games that go to crap. You know how much money you just made? Like, right?
Right.
Like that. I mean, come on, man. Like that's. It's funny too, because we're starting to do it now where we're only putting the games where we all agree upon up, and we break them down so much. Oh, by the way, your guy wasn't there today; he didn't show up. We break them down so much. Your uncle never showed up. I sent him the link.
I know.
Never showed up. And just 2 no shows one day. Anyways, we're 5-0 now, gentlemen. I bring us to this next point I want to make. So I made a statement a while back and about how I saw things black and white, and I got shitload of like questions in my inbox. A lot of people saying whether they agreed with me or didn't agree with me, wanted to talk about it and discuss it. And I didn't want to discuss it. You know, you guys know how I am. Let's save it for a show. I'll save it for a show. But I want to discuss a couple right now. I do. I want to do this. This telescope that we've been seeing, the James, I keep forgetting, James Webb, right? And then there's like one other one. All right. So did I explain to you the bubble that the guy that they saw that keeps freaking me out? There's a bubble that they believe exists where if you were to enter the bubble, like in other words, the bubble moves so fast, you would travel like 10 years in a year. But if you were in the bubble, you wouldn't age because it crosses across time without touching time, without using time. It's got its own time as it goes. It's like I wish Sarah knows about it. She's like the Hubble. She's seeing it right now, James Webb Hubble. There's like the thing that they found. It's like a bubble of time, a warp bubble. Thank you, Sarah. Yes, warp bubble. Where you enter the warp bubble and the bubble travels at a faster time than we could ever possibly travel, but we only travel in our time. These are things that they're seeing that guys. So one of the things maybe Sarah even knows about, They showed. Did you see where they showed the 3 different galaxies all together? They found 3 galaxies together, and 2 galaxies worked off each other. Buddy, I know I'm boring you or you're yawning, but
Oh
this
my
is the
God.
God's honest truth of what's
Purple
going
man.
on. This is what's going on in reality. This is like really serious. Like, so it's 3 universes, meaning it's 3 different stars that they're all working off of that we found that we didn't know existed before that are there. And 2 of them work off each other. Like, in other words, guys, the stuff that they're finding right now, I'm telling you, between what they're finding under the ice as like everything melts. Now we had what was his name? I don't want to say what was his name, but the guy from Ghost Hunters International.
Barry Fitzgerald.
Oh, Barry Fitzgerald. Yeah.
Barry Fitzgerald went digging deep and didn't find something that he liked. Whatever it was terrified him. Remember, you guys remember that, correct?
Right.
So all of the discoveries are becoming underground. Has anyone noticed that? Oceans, ice, caves. Anybody? Joe?
Nope.
All right. You guys are not paying attention to anything that's going on. What do you do? What do you do? You have to pay attention to what's going on. Look, not only are they finding stuff like that, I pondered yesterday, what is the greatest threat? What seems to always be at the root of every threat for every planet that's ever existed?
Asteroid, something that's
not asteroids, closer. Think about one thing that always happens, that always it's just like on every planet, it just ruins it. And it always
gravity.
happens. Nope.
Gravity.
Anybody else?
Nope. I'm thinking gravity because we're slowly getting sucked into the sun.
Volcanoes.
Okay.
Volcanoes, guys, throughout time, change planets. Every planet. You look at something, it's a result of a volcano. This was a result of a volcano. Result of a volcano. Like, on different planets. Go ahead, buddy. On different planets, there's whatchamacallit? Volcano eruptions. Joe, I guess what I'm saying is at the root of all this stuff, every catastrophe that I can think of, the worst thing I always can think of is volcanoes. Like, that's literally, to me, I think the biggest threat to the planet right now is volcanoes. I'm going to go on record as saying that the biggest threat to the planet, Joe, is volcanoes. It's like the sleeper pick of the paranormal. Because it's not paranormal, but maybe it is, Joe. Maybe it is.
Care to explain?
Okay. Volcanoes pull from where?
I'm going to assume the center of the earth, but I have
There
no
you
idea.
go, Joe, right? Yes, because it's the center of the earth erupting, right? There's too much pressure. Bang. Molten lava comes out. Molten lava doesn't come from like the top of the ground. It comes from near the core. So when it comes up, it's coming from down below. Everything that's happened so far that I've heard of, even aliens to this point, it's been going underground. Goddamn. I went to the Bigfoot convention. I had to listen to how Bigfoot goes underground. Everything goes underground. I'm not joking. Like, it all goes underground. And where does the worst stuff eruptions come from? The ground. Joe, is it any coincidence, maybe, I guess, that it's almost fire that shoots out of a volcano that comes from the ground? Like molten lava? Like as close to fiery hell as you can think? Like, you ever look into a volcano when they show like what it looks like inside a volcano when there's lava?
Yeah.
How terrifying that shit looks like?
Yeah.
Like, it looks like pasta sauce, but not the kind you'd want to taste.
Yeah, not the kind that would sit in your stomach too well.
Yeah, you can't dip your bread in it.
No.
It would burn the shit out of the bread, Joe. Just trust me. If you're ever there. But like, so that's my theory. Like that it's coming from the ground. Give me your thoughts, Joe.
So Sarah actually mentioned this. I actually kind of agree with her. I think if we were to destroy our ozone, I think that would be worse than volcanoes, just because of the fact that I think there's still many, 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 many years in life to be lived before volcanoes could cause mass destruction to the planet. But I think
Nope.
us ourselves are
No.
causing our own
Nope.
destruction by
No.
destroying the ozone.
No. First of all, volcanoes can happen at any point. That's what they're most known for, is their unpredictability. Now, on top of that, with the ozone, I don't know if I buy the whole ozone thing, man. I feel like the Earth is gonna deal with whatever it's gonna deal with, because that's what it was supposed to do. And in the end, it'll be okay. It'll just be us that's dead. You know what I mean? So the ozone, I guess, is a big deal. I'm not saying it's not, but I don't go crazy about the ozone and stuff like that, because I just feel like the Earth will just spit us out. Like, it'll just heal around us. We can't ruin the Earth. Like, I get mad when I hear people say we're gonna ruin the Earth. It can't be done. We can't ruin the Earth. We can ruin us and the way that we live. We can ruin our nice houses and civilization, but we're not touching the Earth itself. Can't, right? How you can't. It's always gonna look. The dinosaurs got hit by a meteor. Am I right?
Yeah, there's other theories. I can't remember off the top of my head because I wasn't prepared to talk about this, but there are other theories out there that it wasn't just a meteorite or a large meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs. To your point, actually, I think volcano eruptions are also another big one that they think might have aided in it as well.
It's in
but
every.
yeah,
Superstar just said the gates of hell in many cultures are depicted with many lava tubes. Like, in other words, what I'm trying to say to you is, even the dinosaurs, hit by volcanoes. Like, I'm being honest, you could just go through like the history, and you even look at like other planets that have like holes in them. Why? Like, some are volcanoes. I mean, there are meteor, obviously, but like, this is not like a joke. Like, if you guys after this look up just volcanoes recently, or recent James Webb discoveries, it's ridiculous.
I actually saw an article headline that did mention that scientists are discovering more about volcanoes than they ever knew. I just didn't read it, so I know where you're getting this from. I did see that. I did see that as a headline article, so that's the only reason why I'm entertaining your ideas right now, Mike.
Thank you, Joe. The thing is, I literally did hours of study, I would say, on volcanoes and just how they're attached to, like, all these disasters, everything. It's just like they're like the draw 4 card of life. You know what I mean? They're like, draw 4, motherfucker. That's it. There's no skips. There's no reverses. You draw 4. That's how that works. Buddy, I'm taking you off the stream till you figure out how to plug stuff in. Joe, let's move on to another paranormal. Holy shoes. What did I do? How do I even do this?
I don't know what you did.
One time over my house where you made it so that I saw 4 screens at once. Remember? It freaked me out. Anyways, moving on.
Oh, you probably hit the Windows key or something, and it brought up all your apps that you have open. Much like the Dolphins can't figure out how to execute a correct punt, but he doesn't seem to be able to execute how to work his computer very well.
Sarah, how brutal would the Yellowstone volcano be if it went off? That is the truth too. Like, it is a super volcano, right? Like, in other words, it's just right there. If that thing goes off, forget it.
Well, just the fact that at Yellowstone they have what is it? It's like the hot springs and the geysers that are literally just like you seriously just can't even like walk in like these certain areas, or like you will be skinned alive by just hot water that could then just explode from the ground for a short period of time.
So, Joe, the reason so where I'm going with all this is this: all sort of religion, mythology, bad is down with this fire, and good is usually up. In general, right? Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
So, she just said the ash would kill all the farms. It would completely kill the ash would be destructive. Forget about it. So throughout time, everything that they've talked about has come from below. Like, all evil has come from below. And now we're finding out more and more from our friend Bruce, who had that other discovery. There's a Skinwalker Ranch discoveries where they can see that they sense the heat thing below. Buddy, you don't have to believe in that, but What I'm telling you is
I don't at all.
more and more that finding stuff below ground. Below ground. On top of that, we did see the UFOs recently go underwater, correct? They went into the ocean, correct?
I saw an article about that as well. I didn't read it because I was, I think I was at work. I was a little busy, but I did see something to that effect that they're.
What do you mean you were at work busy? Like it came up on your screen once and that was it, Joe? You just weren't going to put the effort into like looking into UFOs, diving into the ocean like a
No, I just started reading something else.
I worry about the youth. I worry about where they're going, buddy, because you
Exhibit A, Mike. Joey Parano Show.
Joey Parano Show. I'm worried. I'm worried for these hooded kids.
Right.
These hoodies. You know.
I don't know. Aliens just don't do it for me. I know they exist. I mean, I don't need more proof that they're around and that they're out there. Unless there's an article that says, "Hey, we found an extraterrestrial planet with life, and we think that it's like out there." Like, yeah, maybe I'll be interested, but
aliens don't do it for you. But ghost voices do.
Yes.
How does that make sense, guys?
To me, it's hard. For me, it's harder to believe that there is a spiritual realm where souls reside and can interact with the physical world. So I like to delve into that and to get the proof that we've gotten and to do research that we've done. But in my mind, like, it's not hard for me to rationalize, like, there's clearly extraterrestrial life outside of the confines of Earth, because to me, again, I'm not very religious, being grounded scientifically, like, space is infinite nothingness that's expanding. So, I mean, if you could just, one of the things I've always wanted to do is if I'm like 75 and I know I'm going to die, I want to be put in a spaceship with like as much rocket fuel as possible and just get sent straight into space and just continue to go for as far as I could. Just because I want to know what's out there as far as I could go. Because I don't care about coming back. I'm going to die anyway.
Buddy, I mean, Joey, rethink about what you're saying. All right. Two things. One, buddy, that's 2 yawns. If you yawn again, I'm kicking you off the show, and we'll see you again tomorrow night for Paranormal Planners.
Wait, is it that easy?
You have now been warned. Now, Joe, what were you just talking about?
Are you gonna make me do that rant again?
I want to hear what you just said again. Just tell me. Well,
it's easier for me to comprehend extraterrestrial life, so I don't put as much thought into it because I already can comprehend that that's a thing, and I'm not gonna, unless you can wow me. Like, I'm really not gonna read too much into it. But with the spiritual realm, it's harder for me to comprehend that that's actually real, that we can communicate with like spirits and souls and things that aren't there, so that's why I that's why I
you're more interested in connecting with
that other dimension, that spiritual realm.
So that's more selfish, right? That's more personal, as opposed to
probably.
If you're looking at the universe and trying to discover things that are out there, would that be more not personal? It'd be more like for everybody to find out what's out there. And second of all, Joe, at 75 years old, you think you're going to want to be in a rocket that goes up in the space at 75 years old, Joe? Are you kidding me? That's what you want to do before you die at 75, Joe?
What happens?
Well, I don't know.
Body at 75 is going to want to be strapped and sit in a rocket all sweaty. You're going to probably want to be playing scratch tickets, for Christ's sakes. Like at 75, like 75 years old, go get yourself some heroin, crack, all that stuff. Do all the drugs you can find right before you go, Joe. You know you're going to go? That last day, you do every single drug on the book, and then you put yourself on TV, and then you tell everybody to go fuck themselves, and then, I don't know, jump off a cliff. Like, that's how I would do it. I mean, I don't know. If I got to go out, I might as well go out off a cliff. Like off a real cliff, because when's the last time you heard so-and-so dies from jumping off a cliff? No one jumps off cliffs anymore, right? Something about bringing it back.
We have buildings now, Mike.
What's that?
We have buildings now. We jump off of those, I think.
All right.
It would be way much more fun. Oh, and yes, I am doing a disclaimer. She's right. Sarah said, I'm only joking. These are all jokes. If you take me serious on anything I've said, well, I don't know what to tell you. Like, when I start to talk about my paranormal beliefs, those are true. When I say anything else, like jumping off cliffs, that's an exaggeration. I do not promote jumping off cliffs. Actually, I would tell you to pick like a helicopter, or maybe like one of those those little planes, like the Red Baron ones, where they let you stand on the wings.
Yeah.
Now that's going out in style, right? Because then that way, Joe, you can wear all your wrestling gear like you want, your little cane mask and all that shit. You can stand there, Joe, you can go like this, and then just jump. Right? No? All right. Well, again, these are all jokes. You know, YouTube has been cracking down doing scrubs. I know they scrub us a lot, but we don't really do anything that crosses the line because we don't really say anything that's inappropriate. Not really, but sometimes. Now, buddy, we got a show tomorrow night. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about it? Who's on it? What we're going to discuss? Give me like your. I'm going to give you open time. I want the Buddy Money Fair pitch on our show for tomorrow night at 8:00. Hold on.
Tomorrow, join us live at I think 8:05 as we travel to the historically and culturally rich city of New Orleans, Louisiana. Not New Orleans, like some people mispronounce the word, but it's New Orleans. We're gonna go to New Orleans. There's a few hotels in New Orleans that we're gonna visit. A few that have local visitors year round. We can go and you can look into that. They're also known to be former slave plantations down in southern Louisiana that are now also motels or hotels, if you will. And they are allegedly maybe also haunted. So join us we're going to present at least 3 of New Orleans' most haunted places to stay and most lovely places to stay right in and around the French Quarter of New Orleans. So join us as we travel to scenic New Orleans tomorrow.
I thought we were going to New Orleans.
No, Mike, New Orleans doesn't exist. That's just a mispronunciation of New Orleans.
All right. And who is on the show tomorrow?
Tomorrow it'll be you and I, and then we'll be joined by Big Z Dodge and Celini C Beanie.
There it is, C Beanie. By the way, Joe, you know what? There's no more fun in life than watching Buddy talk on his own and watch his brain try to pronunciate like as he goes. He'll be like deliberately, and it's like you could see the brain turn, and I appreciate that. He's Joe. You could learn a lot from Buddy. Is what I'm trying to say.
You just see loading,
yeah,
or I'm sorry, buffering. Oh, there we go.
No, I'm being honest. You could learn a thing or two from Buddy, Joe.
I have learned a thing or two from Buddy.
When Buddy even does his introduction, he's very much like, "Hey, how you doing?" And you come in kind of bland. Like you could learn a lot from Buddy. Is what I'm trying to say. Like
you know what, man?
Look, Buddy,
Joey Parano show is about to no show.
Listen,
a lot of fire coming my way.
Buddy, where it's at. It's just hip to be Buddy, Joe.
Color of your beard, maybe the length, maybe
a beard, a Dolphins jersey. Like I'm just trying to give you some.
You already have the no hair, Joe. You're getting there, dude. You're starting to put on a little weight, so you're getting there. You just got to get the red beard and change your jersey, dude. You'll be all.
And Joe, I can get you a red beard. You don't have to grow one.
Like the Red Sox, it's okay.
I'll strap a beard.
I would rather walk into oncoming traffic than put on a Miami Dolphins jersey. I'm going to start there.
Wouldn't it be great though if I could kick it to the buddies? And it's just the two of you with beards.
Actually, you know what? I'd wear a Tannehill jersey.
Sarah, does this mean there is an opening? Listen, Sarah, you have my invitation to join us next Sunday, no matter who the guest is, and just be part of our 4-way,
whether he shows up or not,
questioning, because you're obviously extremely intelligent. You're obviously extremely good at asking questions. You keep using words that Joey keeps messaging me saying, I don't know what they mean. And I keep saying, don't worry, just wait till after the show. Buddy will explain them. So what I'm saying is, Sarah, next week, I will be sending you an invitation to be our 4th host for the show. Guys, what do you think of that? Instead of Sarah wasting her time just talking to us like this, we'll put her on air and we'll see what happens. Who's with me?
I mean, I'm in.
You're in. Buddy, you're in?
Yeah, bring it. Come on.
Sarah, are you in? I'm going to wait for you to say you're in. Here's the thing. If you're not in, oh boy, I'll haunt you. That's all we'll talk about every time you come on. I'll be just like, hey, Sarah, what are you doing? Yeah, you're supposed to be on the show one time. Just come on, do one show. And if you're one of those people that don't want to be doing the video thing, my advice is just get a screenshot of Buddy, bang, and then just talk behind it. Oh, wait a minute. This is not what I wanted to see. Oh, God, no.
Oh.
That is by far not. That was not the reaction we were hoping for. I don't know about Joey Paranormal, but I'll speak for Buddy on this one. And that's not what we wanted to hear is, oh, God, no. I know how to deal with hauntings. Well, now you have to learn how to deal with us, Sarah. So next week, I will be sending you the link. You really don't have a choice. There's no choice. I'm not giving you a choice anymore. So you don't have to say, oh, God, no, I know this. I don't know that. Whoever's on, Buddy, who is our guest next week?
Daniel Jackson.
All right. Is he one of the Jacksons that I would know, Buddy, or you want to tell me a little bit more about him?
So for starters, you're thinking of the Johnsons.
Buddy, you're either on your phone or, God forbid, what you're doing.
I'm trying to figure out who this guy is.
What I'm saying is you're on your phone or you're staring at something else that, God forbid, what you're doing.
It's still there? Yeah, it's there.
All right. No one can tell. You're just standing there staring at your crotch. Like, what are you doing? Is he taking a whiz? What's he doing?
Not right now, Mike.
All right. Now, what are you looking up now? Daniel Jackson?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. I contact these people in all different methods, so I'm trying to find our correspondence probably from 3 or 4 months ago and find out hey, this is Buddy. It's time to be on the show now. And then find out how I know him or why I booked him because I don't recognize him.
I'm sorry, Daniel Jackson. Woo. Don't say that on air. I don't know what that means. I don't know what because that could, Joey, that could refer to the last 53 minutes.
At least bits and pieces of the last 53 minutes.
All right. She's
probably referring to all the hate that I've been getting. That's what she means by don't say that on air.
Come on. We all love you. You get out of here. You're the only one we give so much time off.
Well, I've built up that PTO, man.
Jesus, Christopher. All right. Here's another story. I'm going to end with another great story. This is a fun one. Playing a show out in Worcester. Across the street from us is Rob Zombie and Korn playing at the Worcester Centrum. We headline go on at 11. As we go on, the place starts to fill up because people got out of that show and just walked over. And now it's a packed place. We're like, holy shit, this just got serious. However, they start kicking people out of the green room. Later, Sarah, they start kicking people out of the green room, which is where we have our equipment. Now, all 3 bands that opened had to be completely cleaned out and gone. But we kind of had stuff still back there, so they were giving us a hard time, but it was like, whatever. Now, out of the corner of my eye, as Joey Paranormal would say, as I'm doing the show, I start to see stuff going in the green room. Like, good stuff. Like, food and shit. And we're like, what is going on here, right? So as we're cleaning up the stage, getting our stuff off after the show, right? We know something's going on in the green room. So I'm like, Phillips, grab your bass bag. Let's go. We go right into the green room, but we use the door that's on the stage, right? We go in. Now, gentlemen, I walk into a room. Please pay attention to what I'm saying because I want your visuals on this, all right? In the room, in the middle, are the zombie guys and the Korn guitar players and the bassist. There is a fountain of champagne in the right corner that's about 4 feet high. There is a whole buffet of food. And then there is 5 chairs with free lap dances. provided by the local strip club that had sent, and I quote, 20 strippers to this little green room. We walked in there, thankfully due to the tattoos, blended in, and proceeded to just drink and observe how great this was. Like, this is exactly what I thought rock and roll was supposed to be to begin with. Like, I originally thought it was supposed to be crazy, chaotic like this, and it finally was. Now, my biggest issue was I was eating mozzarella sticks. Way too much. Way too much. Especially when Phillips reminded me that they were not mozzarella sticks, but jalapeno peppers. That was a bad choice. Later that night, the agita that I had from eating like 18 jalapeno peppers because I was so drunk out of my mind was the worst thing I ever felt. But one by one, everybody was parked in the car, in the van, waiting to leave Worcester. And they were pissed that me and Phillips were missing, right? So they sent the first person to come find us, right? Now, one by one, this is what would happen. We would see one of the guys from the band walk in the room, so pissed off, like this. Where the fuck? And they would just immediately go, where the fuck? Oh. And get a drink and just mingle. Like, in other words, it was like Predator. They just kept disappearing from the van. No one could understand why they weren't coming back. Like, people would come in, they were coming to come get us because we had to leave, but they would never come back. It got all the way down to it was like just like Lopes. And I never forget how angry he was. He walked in that room so angry. Buddy, there's your third yawn.
Yeah, it's almost over anyway.
So so Lopes comes in, and Lopes' face was the scariest of all. He was so angry. And I'll never see somebody go from so angry to so happy so quickly. It was like, you know what I mean? Because, guys, like, that was like, I can't explain it. That's another one of those memories where I'm like, this is what I thought rock and roll was like in the 80s. You know, when Dave Lee Roth's getting carried out of a hotel with handcuffs and a towel at the Biltmore, Providence, which is where that happened. Like, what was that? That was in Jump. I don't know. Other than that, what would you guys like to discuss as we start to wrap it up? Buddy, we're 5-0. The 49ers win tonight. We'll be 6-0. What a day to make money. Now, what do you got to say there, buddy?
Oh, I'm just happy that my Dolphins beat the Buffalo Bills. I was talking shit all week to Buffalo fans that I knew that had traveled from Buffalo. They all went down. The whole Bills Mafia went down to Miami to stampede the Dolphins, and they got stampeded themselves. Well, they didn't really get stampeded. It was a pretty close game most of the day, but for me to be able to reciprocate and talk shit back to them after the game had ended, it was just it made my week, Mike, completely. So,
and buddy, the thing is, all three of us on the show went with the Dolphins,
right?
And you know that was one of our picks. 5-0. When you predict 5-0, how is that not paranormal? If someone can look in the past and talk to one of your grandparents, that's great. But if I can look into the future and pick 5 games where they're all winners, how is that not better? Joey, what do you got to say to wrap it up?
So I do want to admit to Buddy, I'm actually happy that the Finns won over the Bills because the Bills were just that fan base drives me nuts. I think Josh Allen is one tackle away from just being half the player he was, but that's not what I want to say to end it. I do want to apologize to Brother Ray because in our fantasy league, it's the battle of the final 2 undefeateds today, if I remember correctly. Just want to double check. Oh, nope. There is Tyreek and Destroy. He's also undefeated, so I'm coming for him next. However, it's me and Brother Ray, top 2. And I'm down by a point, and I still have Cortland Sutton and Denver's defense to go. So I just want to apologize to Brother Ray that this week's not going to work out for him. It hurt me to start Lamar Jackson. However, I'll take the dub. If I can't get it for the Pats, I'll take it for the fantasy. So it'll be nice moving to 3-0 after tomorrow night. I got
to tell you, in the corrupted league, I turned it around. I'm winning. And in our fantasy league, the legit one, I'm up 109.90. I guess their projection is that I'm going to win 127.90 because he's done. His players are gone, and I've beat him.
Well,
so
I mean, you have to
1-2.
Yeah, you have to at least win a game this year.
No.
I mean, so
how's the champ doing, Mike? How's the champ doing?
He's fine because, like I told you, everybody, even on the show this morning, both my teams are teams where I would not move players. They just didn't play well the first 2 weeks. When you have Tua and Josh Allen as your quarterbacks, you drafted well. I'm just saying. Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley. I haven't had Saquon even go off yet. He hasn't even played. I mean, A.J. Brown, Logan Thomas, Montgomery, Drake London. I'm going to win, Joe. The champ will win. The champ will prevail. And you know the only reason why is because he's the champ. Like, do you get that? You realize why it's futile? Like, the whole, like, I get it. I get you're happy going to go to 3-0. I get that. But you realize at the end of the season, when the playoffs come and there's a championship game, well, championship, you can't have a championship without the champ. Period. Take the word out, it's just ship. You can have the ship, Joe. Champ will be the winner. Buddy, any last words?
That's what I got. That's nice, huh? If you're not totally like overwhelmed by this week's amazing show where I had an amazing beer from New York to collaborate with an amazing guest that didn't show up, join us next week as we welcome Daniel Jackson. He's a psychic medium. He sees beyond the veil and helps people to communicate with loved ones and whatnot. I believe he's authored a few books as well. So Daniel Jackson, if I can get him to come on the show like he's supposed to.
Buddy, don't get down on yourself. I mean, we've maybe had not even a handful of people that have done this.
It's only been like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
and they'll get tagged with the show, of course, as well. So like everybody else does.
And plus, I just got another hour's worth of me talking that I can go and splice up and put into my montage. I got this 9. It's almost 1,000 hours of just me talking. Oh, it's beautiful.
Is it called?
No, I literally got I got about 300 hours of me talking, and it's just like, if I could keep it, I'd probably keep like maybe 10 minutes. Although I am putting together my stand-up routine, and I was writing about topics like that I would want to put in my act, things that make me laugh. And for some reason, I thought about this, and I was saying to somebody, and I just decided to go with it. And I started telling someone this story. I'm like, man, I saw the worst thing today. It was disgusting. And they were like, what? I'm like, a circumcised dog. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, the guy circumcised his dog. Like, I don't know why. He said it was cleaner for the dog, just like a human. So the whole time, his pink crayon was sticking out. And it was freaking me out because it's like pink and it's always got that like wet glimmer and it's gross. But this thing was the dog's dick was drying up. Poor guy, because he got him circumcised. So he had like a chapped dick for a dog. Joe, totally made up, but totally a story I enjoyed telling that I could easily turn into a joke as to something I saw because the vision idea of a circumcised dog is so gross. And not something that the human mind should think of unless you're tapped. But when you think of it, you go, yeah, they don't circumcise animals. Imagine they circumcise a dog, how goofy that would look. That was the thought that went through my head. So yeah, I'm gonna put that on my act.
Mike, I want to thank you because that was such an amazing story. My mother who's listening right now, happy birthday, Mom. And that was a great story that you get to listen to via Mike. Hope you had a great day yesterday and enjoyed Mike's story about a circumcised dog.
Yeah, Mike, I think at the hour mark, we should probably just cut the show because you, after an hour, gets a little unhinged and I'm uncomfortable.
Listen, I'm just giving you part of my comedy routine. Like, that will be gold. Circumcised dogs.
I'm glad I didn't have to pay for that.
Have faith in me. I'm going to do it. You're going to see me up on stage really soon. Now for Buddy Money. There for Joey Paradid Show. It's me, Mike Labry, King Mike L. This was Legit Paranormal, brought to you by LegitPodcast.com. Tomorrow night, Legit Paranormal Vacation Planners. Tune in at 8:05. We're going to have some gruesome stories for you. Not as gruesome as the circumcised dog's penis.